What if your worst nightmare was being broadcast live for the world to see? For one young woman, this nightmare is about to become a terrifying reality. The film opens in a dense forest, where a young woman named Amanda slowly regains consciousness. Strangely, a small camera is strapped to her stomach, and more cameras are mounted on the surrounding trees. The scene then cuts to a group of 3 friends leaving a party. One of them, Amanda, receives a text message from someone asking to meet. Amanda says goodbye to her friends and heads off to meet this person. Along the way, she has a persistent, chilling feeling that she's being followed. Just then, the person who messaged her sends a single clown emoji. From behind, 2 people in clown masks grab her, covering her mouth with a cloth. The next thing she knows, she's waking up in the forest. Panicked, she has no idea how she got here or why she was brought here. As she wanders around, she finds a collection of missing person posters, and to her horror, one of them is for her. Before she can even process the shock, the 2 masked figures appear before her again. Terrified, she tries to run, but they inject her with a syringe and she passes out. This time when she wakes up, she's tied to a chair. A camera is pointed directly at her, and a voice orders her to smile. The same voice informs her that she is the star of a murder show, which is being live-streamed. A constant stream of messages from viewers floods the screen, suggesting different ways to kill her. And just like that, Amanda is murdered. The next day, police discover the mutilated body of a young woman in the forest. It's identified as Amanda. The news of her murder goes viral. This wasn't the first murder of its kind in the city. Many others had been killed in bizarre ways, and the police had never been able to find a single clue as to who was behind it. The scene shifts to a podcast hosted by Ethan, a popular YouTuber. He's discussing the very murder show where Amanda was killed. He talks about how people get a thrill from watching others die, and how these shows are all the rage on the dark web. The shocking part, he notes, is that while ordinary people can easily access these websites, the police have been completely unable to track them down. He criticizes the police, but clarifies in his podcast that he doesn't hate them, he just wants them to do their job properly. During the podcast, Ethan gets a call. When he answers, all he hears is the terrifying sound of a girl screaming. He and his crew quickly end the podcast. Just then, his mom calls him. She's crying, and all she can manage to say is, "Come home." When Ethan arrives, he learns the devastating news. His sister, Amanda, has been murdered. Heartbroken, he does another podcast, explaining that it's been a week since his sister was killed, and the police still have no leads on her killers. One day, overwhelmed by grief, he goes to his sister's house. After spending some time there, he notices a strange message written on a board in her room. "Hell is empty and all the devils are here." He takes a picture of the message and falls asleep on Amanda's bed, where he has a nightmare about her murder. He wakes up startled to a new message on his phone. It's the same clown emoji we've seen before. He can't understand the connection between the clown and everything that's happening. He then heads to his mom's house, who had been calling him. On the way, he sees a girl wearing that same clown mask, which terrifies him, making him think these masked people are now following him. He tries to ignore it and continues home. His mom isn't there when he arrives. He goes to the kitchen and finds she's left food for him. As he's heating it up, he sees the same masked girl outside the kitchen window. He rushes outside to confront her, but there's no one there. Confused and shaken, he goes back inside to find his mom has returned. She asks why he seems so agitated, but he hides his fear, saying he's just sad about Amanda. His mom gets emotional, and Ethan consoles her, promising that he will find Amanda's killers no matter what. He goes to his room and receives a series of messages. He opens them and is horrified. They are gruesome photos of his sister's dismembered body. The scene cuts to a young woman named Kate, one of Amanda's friends who works at a boutique. Ethan goes to see her, knowing that she was very close to Amanda. He tells her that he feels like he's constantly being watched, and that someone is sending him horrifying pictures of Amanda's body, along with threatening emails. He also mentions that in those emails, he saw a picture of Kate with Amanda. He pleads with her, "Whatever you know, please tell me." Terrified, Kate agrees to tell him everything.
She explains that she, Amanda, and another friend had ventured onto the dark web and found the murder show. They watched as a girl was being tortured on screen, with viewers paying to inflict more pain. In a twisted sense of adventure, Amanda also sent money to the show requesting they cut the girl's fingernails. But instead of cutting her nails, the show's creators slit her throat right there on screen. The three friends were horrified and have been living with the guilt that they caused a girl's death. Kate adds that she tried to copy the website's link to give to the police, but it was always a fake link. The site's address changes constantly, making it almost impossible to copy or trace. Ethan says, "I have a solution for that. I know a hacker who can help us with that." Kate also tells him that their videos can be viewed online on the dark web. Ethan quickly searches for the video, which starts with a strange, deep voice. The voice explains that they never introduce themselves because they are the masters of the dark world. It goes on to say that to watch the video, viewers must complete a series of challenges and solve puzzles. Solve the puzzles, find our show, and we will find you. Ethan, sitting right there, solves all the puzzles and starts the murder show video. The very next second, he receives a message with a picture of him and Kate taken just moments before. Terrified, they look around, checking outside to see if anyone is watching them, but they're completely alone. This only frightens them more. Shaken, they go to see Shadow Monkey, the hacker Ethan knew about. After hearing their story, Shadow Monkey initially refuses to help, explaining that if the killers have already hacked their phones and computers, they are capable of doing something far more dangerous. His words make Ethan emotional and angry, and he says some harsh things to the hacker. Surprisingly, this convinces him to help. Relieved, Kate and Ethan leave his house. Kate tells Ethan, "I don't think Shadow Monkey will help us." But Ethan reassures her, "He's helped me on my last 6 cases. He's a little strange, but he's good at what he does." Just then, Kate remembers she has the business card of a detective who interviewed her after Amanda's death. She gives the card to Ethan. He tries calling the number several times, but it's either switched off or out of service. Ethan drops Kate off at her boutique, which she had left in a hurry. On the way, they decide to meet the detective first thing in the morning. Back at the boutique, Kate gets back to work, but she suddenly feels like someone is watching her. She checks outside, but no one is there. She sits back down, and just then, Ethan video calls her. They want to keep working on the case while she's at work. As they talk, their friendship deepens. Suddenly, the lights in the boutique go out. Kate gets up to check the fuse box and starts hearing strange noises. She turns around to see a clown toy playing that eerie clown music. On the video call, Ethan screams at Kate to run as he can see a shadow moving behind her. When Kate turns, she sees a person in the same clown mask as the ones who killed Amanda. Before she can react, she's attacked and knocked unconscious.
Ethan, watching everything on his phone, is helpless. The masked attackers pick up the phone and Ethan threatens them, "I'll find you and I'll kill you." But they just hang up. When Kate wakes up, she's locked in a small cage with a camera in front of her. She hears a familiar voice and realizes that her and Amanda's other friend is here too, kidnapped just like her. They're both terrified, with no idea what's going to happen to them. As they're talking, the gate opens and masked figures drag Kate's friend away, despite Kate's desperate pleas. A short while later, another masked man appears with a large syringe and injects Kate, knocking her out. Meanwhile, we see Ethan at the police station, trying to get help for Kate. He meets Detective Sancha, the same detective whose card Kate had given him. Ethan tells him everything about the dolls left at the kidnapping sites, the clown-masked killers, the dark web murder show, and how they've been stalking him ever since he accessed their site. He explains they followed him to his mom's house and that he saw them kidnap Kate on a video call. The detective listens to his entire story and then says, "Ethan, I think you need a good night's sleep. I don't know what kind of wild stories you're spinning." He dismisses Ethan's complaint entirely. When Kate regains consciousness, a live broadcast is playing in front of her. A young man is being tortured and people are continuously paying money to have him tortured even more. The comments on the side read, "More pain, hurt him more." Kate is distraught and screams for them to stop, but no one can hear her. They proceed to cut off the man's limbs before slitting his throat. Kate's other friend is brought back and placed in her cell. She tells Kate, "It wasn't my turn yet." She's terrified because she knows that even though she was spared this time, she will be next. On the other side, Ethan is already working with Shadow Monkey on a new plan to save Kate. With Shadow Monkey's hacking skills, they managed to copy the murder show's link. But the hackers soon realized it was a trap. They get a message, "You're next." Shadow Monkey is momentarily scared but calms himself down, telling Ethan that he has multiple security layers on his systems, making it impossible for anyone to find him. But then he realizes his webcam is on and they can see him. Now he's truly scared. He grabs a gun for protection and gives Ethan a knife for any emergency. With the link copied, Ethan goes back to the police station and tells the detective the same story, but the police still refuse to believe him. Meanwhile, Shadow Monkey is partying, celebrating his massive achievement of hacking the site's link. Back at the station, Ethan is arguing with the detective. When the detective asks for proof, he tries to show him, but all the evidence on his phone has mysteriously changed, making him look like a liar. He knows what's happening. He quickly leaves and tries to call Shadow Monkey to warn him that the murder show people have found his secret location. But Shadow Monkey ignores his call, busy trying to trace the IP address of the murder show. He successfully finds the location, but as soon as he does, his computers are hacked and the clown picture appears on his screens. Someone breaks into his house. It's the two clown-masked people from the murder show. To keep their operation a secret, they have to kill Shadow Monkey. By the time Ethan gets there, it's too late. They have already killed Shadow Monkey and left. The murder show's intro is playing on all three of his computer screens. Ethan searches Shadow Monkey's body, remembering he said he had copied the address. Finally, he finds the address in Shadow Monkey's pocket. Without wasting a second, he rushes to the location. There he sees unconscious people being dragged inside. Ethan thinks he's sneaking in unnoticed, but he doesn't know they've already seen him. They inject him with a sedative and take him to the same place where Kate and her friend are being held in cages. When Ethan wakes up, he finds himself in a cage on the other side of Kate. A screen in front of them is showing their other friend being tortured in the murder show. Everyone is panicking, crying, and screaming at her condition, but not Ethan. He remembers the knife Shadow Monkey gave him. He uses it to free himself, then cuts open Kate's cage to free her as well. Once out, they decide to fight back. Armed with Ethan's small knife, they enter a control room filled with computer screens. A masked woman sees them and tries to attack Ethan with her sharp claws, but Kate stabs him with the knife from behind, causing her to fall. Before they can finish her, she vanishes. Ethan and Kate move to the next area, the main room where the masked figures torture their victims. They are devastated to find that the murder show creators have already killed their friend they came to save. Kate realizes the whole place is booby-trapped, and they won't be able to escape. Before they can run, they're surrounded by a large group of masked people. Ethan manages to escape into a tunnel to save himself, while Kate decides to fight. She knows if she doesn't fight back, she'll be killed anyway. She finds an axe and starts swinging, causing a few of the masked figures to back up. Chasing them and trying to find Ethan, she enters another room and finds a chainsaw, which she picks up. Meanwhile, the woman from the control room who had disappeared returns and sounds an alarm. A man with an axe appears, finds Ethan, and is about to kill him. But just in time, Kate appears from behind and kills him with the chainsaw. With a chainsaw in her hands, Kate is fearless. She cuts down anyone who stands in her way. Before they can get to the true owner of the murder show, the last person manages to escape in a van. The scene cuts to a few months later. What Ethan and Kate did, taking down a group of serial killers, was something even the police couldn't do. The media hounds the police with questions, but they have no answers. A year passes. We see that Ethan has written a best-selling book about his ordeal, making him very famous. A large crowd is shown waiting to get his autograph. After the book signing, Ethan goes home. We see that he now lives with Kate, and they're trying to live a normal life. But they're constantly afraid that the last clown mask killer might come back to finish them off. Because of this, Ethan carries a gun with him all the time, even when he's just taking out the trash. As he's dropping the trash, he sees a missing person poster nearby. It has his picture on it. It's the same kind of poster he saw near his sister, Amanda, at the beginning of the movie. Before he can react or pull out his gun, someone injects him in the neck from behind and he passes out. When Ethan wakes up, he's tied up in the back of a truck. A crowd of people in clown masks are bidding on him. Finally, he is sold for $10,000 to a young woman. Ethan looks at her and remembers it's the last woman who managed to escape that day. Ethan is in shock when a masked man standing nearby removes his mask. It's none other than the detective Ethan had repeatedly gone to for help. They all start laughing at Ethan, revealing that a ring of powerful people were behind the entire game. And with that chilling revelation, the movie ends.